So, well, let me just start with the concept of listening first.
Well, I was always a listener because growing up, I had very poor vision. I'd squint and I'd walk a little bit funny. That's because I was looking for shadows and I was using my ears to try and get from point A to point B. But everything was a blurry outline for many years, and I think that was instrumental in transforming me into more of a listener than someone who, say, just looks. We often think of sound as all-encompassing, as something that embraces us and that we embrace when we walk out into the world. But sound also divides us, not only as people socially when we're wearing headphones, but I also think in terms of how we listen to and experience the world. When we walk around wearing headphones, this sends a message that, well, we are in our own world and we are constructing our own world, constructing our own territory. But this territory is much more closed. It's much more confined, and in most cases it probably reinforces who we are rather than, say, tries to attract new people.
Ears aren't like eyelids, you know. There are no ear lids, you know. I mean, I'm hearing the information's coming in all the time. The sound of the lights. Somebody's got a weed whacker out there. You know, there's somebody playing a piano upstairs. You know, there's us talking. You know, these sounds are always coming in.
But I think this idea of people constructing their own spaces when they're walking, people have done that without headphones. We've all known people who've zoned out or spaced out. You can ban laptops in the classroom and then ask people to take notes on paper. And anyone who's old enough is going to remember that what were people doing in notebooks? They were drawing bad imitations of band logos. So distraction is always going to be there. It's just how it's channeled and what it's channeled towards.
If you try sitting out there in front of the Wren building and you know, sitting down and meditating with your eyes closed, just listening to the sound, I find it's almost deafening what's going on. All the sounds you hear are displaying, if you will, for lack of a better word, right in the center of your mind. They spatially manifest in that place and go out from there. So even, you know, so we're constantly surrounded by sounds that are directed right at us. That's how we, you know, even though, like, if I snap my fingers, the sound goes in an explosive way in all directions. From my perception, I'm hearing it as if it's just going directly to the center of my mind.
The sounds are everywhere, but finding something important in the sound. That's actually the most difficult aspect. Every sound, in a sense, presents a challenge and an invitation to discover something new.
In a sense, all of us, even if we aren't musicians, even if our ears don't work, you know, we're still all musical in a certain way all the time. So to me, that's a false question, the difference between music and not music. Where's the line? I don't see a line. Which is not to say everything is music. It's just to say you can't draw a line. There's no music and non-music as long as you're talking about perception.
It's more of a feeling than I guess I'm not gonna we've ventured into very nebulous territory, and I'm not gonna try and find any more.
All right, well, I think we're good, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at my fake
Fake watch. All
All right, I'm gonna boogie then.
Yeah. Unless there's anything else you want to add, just
No, I think I
you're all
bullshitted
good.
enough.